Howdy gamers, Zephyr here and welcome back to another Apex Legends Pro Guides video. Today we're taking a look at how to excel on the Season 13 iteration of Stormpoint, which is the map for the first rank split. But first, our question of the day. What is your favorite place to land on Stormpoint? Let us know in the comments below. Personally, I enjoy landing out there in Cenote Cave. First of all, let's look at the new location added to Stormpoint this season, Downed Beast. As featured in the Season 13 trailer, a huge beast has attacked Stormpoint. Helped by the new addition Newcastle, the Legends defeated this monster. His corpse is now being cleaned up and thus forms the new POI this season. You might recognize the design of the buildings from the latest additions to Kings Canyon. Downed Beast is a really interesting POI. You can go inside and on top of the beast, and inside you'll find high-tier loot. Because you're enclosed, you're safe from Gibraltar and Bangalore ultimates. On top of the beast is a really good high ground. It's very viable to play if you can keep people from climbing up, flying onto you, or using a horizon gravity lift. If a zone ends here, being on the beast is a pretty solid spot to have. There are a few zip lines up to the top of the beast too. Watson and Caustic teams will excel at keeping this height controlled. There's some pretty sturdy loot here as well, and because of the carcass, lots of flyers are attracted to the area, meaning there's additional loot in the boxes and a chance to level up your Evo shield as well. When you're ready to leave, there's a gravity cannon for a speedy escape. If you've played Kings Canyon, you'll know that some of the smaller buildings can be hard to hold. They're small and a couple of grenades can be pretty deadly, so be careful if you have to be inside one of those locations. This POI is a pretty solid shot for a Watson team. Whack a generator down and throw out a web of fences. Fancy an expert opinion on how to approach Stormpoint this season? ProGuides has expert Apex Predator coaches on deck to advance your gameplay. They can help spot flaws, give you detailed knowledge, and direct you on how to best spend your time to take your Apex ability to the next level. ProGuides is your one-stop shop for all things Apex Legends. As well as high-quality coaches, there are in-game tips, tricks, and guides suitable for any level of player. So whatever your gameplay needs, we've got you covered. Why not sit down with an Apex Predator and get their opinion on how they'd approach the new POI, Downed Beast, or when they'd take on the new armories? Check out the link in the description, and let's go. There are also new IMC armories. These are a super cool addition to Stormpoint and are generating a lot of attention. These are enclosed armories defended by guards. You fight for a time period and then are rewarded with a personalized smart loot. They open automatically as you approach, and inside is a rack of weapons that you can use without activating the enemies. Once you're ready to go, activate the armory at the panel and the action begins. You get sealed in and can't leave. If your teammates aren't inside with you, there's a portal that they can use to join you. Enemies cannot get inside until you're finished. Once you have defeated several waves of the IMC robots, who are pretty trash, you get smart loot from the loot bins. Each player gets their own bins, and the amount of bins is attributed to how much you contributed to the fight inside. There is a serious strategy in consideration here. When do you hit the armory? Some people have been landing directly on an armory and using the weapons inside to take on the guards. The guards drop ammo the same way that spiders and prowlers do, so you can keep stocked up while you fight them. And some people are hitting them after doing a speedy loot of some nearby bins and houses. And some people are doing them at the end of their looting or even later in the game. You do, however, get the same Evo shield points as you would shooting spiders or prowlers, so you'll probably have at least triple blue shields by the end of the process. You also get a lot of ammo, and the ammo is for the guns that you're using. When is best? It's up for debate. The smart loot bins give you upgrades, so if you have some pretty stacked attachments and armors, you're going to get far better stuff than if you rock up with, a white barrel or a blue shield. But people are also targeting teams as they finish looting. At the end of the process, the top of the armory opens, as does the ramp. A mini redeploy is provided, like the Winter Express ones, so you can fly out. However, this is already being preyed upon. Teams are swarming the armories and throwing nades in as it opens, and some teams can even block the jump away by horizon grav lifting a trident to cover the top of the armory. Now this might get patched or altered, but there is a risk to handling the armories if other teams are nearby. If you get caught like this, I'd recommend trying to portal away if you have such an ability. If you're attracting a lot of attention, the team swarming the outside could also get third-partied by someone else, But honestly, you're pretty stuck if they block you in. Otherwise, a bubble or even some quick movement should get you away safely even if they're above you as you exit. These armories do help improve some of the weaker POIs. There's an armory between Fish Farms and Gale Station, two POIs that are pretty weak in loot by Stormpoint standards. This helps make the area of the map a little bit more viable. However, it is in the middle of two POIs, so there could be some competition to get to the armory first. Also changed this season is the use of out-of-bounds areas. Stormpoint was pretty notorious for teams doing something known as oobing. It's a cool word to say, but it can be very annoying to play against. Teams would use Valkyrie to fly above other squads, usually on a cliff face or another high place. Once up there, you'd have about a 15-second timer. Teams could throw grenades, ultimates, bubbles, or whatever else down and then drop onto a team's head. And of course, Apex audio is always perfect, so you absolutely always knew that the team was above you. Now, while out of bounds, you can't heal, shoot, throw anything. Basically, all you can do now is move and fall. This makes some spots safer, but it also changes the equation for Valkyrie players later on. If you relied on oobing to make your endgame plays, you'll need to rethink your strategy. Valk is very common on Stormpoint, so it's also worth noting that she also can no longer spin around as she flies up. Overall on Stormpoint this season, you have to be much safer with your Valkyrie plays later in the game. One of the best ways to get an advantage in fights on Stormpoint is to make sure you're always absolutely stacked with armor. With the addition of armories, there are now a lot of ways to ensure you have the strongest armors. You have flyers, prowlers, and spiders to farm, IMC agents to farm, and you can craft your shields and replicators. There is no excuse to leave any drop spot with white armors on this map. You can get up to red shields with some reasonable loot and a double POI shield craft. 150 Evo points cost 50 crafting, so hitting 2 crafters can easily net you 600 points off your shield. Then some damage from an armory, a spider, or prowler's nest should top you off. When you do go to fight spiders, make sure you're saving your ammo. Call of Duty zombie players will remember the concept of trains. If you shoot all the spider's nests and then back away, they'll chase you and group up. A Valkyrie missile launch, a thermite, or a grenade will then obliterate the group of spiders, giving you your loot in Evo faster. This also saves on resources and makes less noise, so you're much less likely to be mistaken for a team fighting and have someone attempt to third-party your ongoing spider battle. One of the greatest ways to get a grip on the new changes and best strategies for Stormpoint is to hop in and play the game. Experiment with when to hit armories and go get a grip with the new POI Down Beast. I've been Zephyr, and that's all for today's video. We'll catch you later, gamers.